I believe we're live once again from the Up North Live digital studio. I am Sports Director Harrison Beebe for Up North Live, joined by my good friend Brendan Quealy. He's the sports editor at the Traverse City Record Eagle. And we love our friends from the Record Eagle because they really, I'm just going to be honest, they know so much more about sports than I do. It's not even funny. They dissect the box scores, they talk to all the coaches every day. I just go shoot the highlights. These guys are actually getting the important stuff done. So that's why we go to them, a reliable source in Northern Michigan. And so I'm happy to talk to Brendan once again. How you doing, my friend? Getting ready for week 3 of high school football?
Doing well, coming to you live from my parents' basement until I can finally move into my new place full time. So here I am, ready to go, talking football and whatever else you want to talk about, as long as you don't ask me about conferences.
Well, I didn't know we were going to reveal your parents' basement was housing you on live broadcast on Facebook and Twitter and YouTube.
I
But
mean, hey man,
that
that's
was
the housing situation in northern Michigan.
right.
So
Well, but you are officially moved in. I
yep,
know 'cause I helped you move. So I know
which
nobody's
I
tuning in for
appreciate.
this talk right now, but yep, you're moved in. You just need to come back and settle in, and that'll be at the end of the week. You'll be back just in time for week 3 of high school football, of course, right?
Correct. Yes, I will.
Okay. So, and that's how we're going to end the conversation. But first, let's start with what you've seen so far from the high school football season. It's now several weeks old, as a matter of fact, including practices, but especially games now at this point. We've seen a couple state rankings come out, whether football or otherwise. Brendan, what kind of jumps out at you right away for the start of the season here for high school sports here in Northern Michigan?
A few teams, certainly. And I think we're going to talk about at least two of them when we go over our games, football games coming up. But Frankfurt, Manistee, Charlevoix, all sitting at 2-0, all looking really good. You look at what Frankfurt's doing. Fletcher Anderson was great on Friday, 230 yards, couple of touchdowns. Emerson Farmer looks good. Benji Allen has been great for Frankfurt. I'm sorry. Sorry, Benji Allen has been great for Glen Lake, who was great in that game and has stepped up in a loss in that game over the weekend. But then you have Manistee, who is 2-0 and whooping up on their opponents, I guess is the best way to say it.
That's a good way to do it. Yep.
Outscored their first 2-week opponents 103-8. They've got great players: Nick Horncole, Caden Cott, Isaiah Davis, Davian Neal Berry, all really wonderful players. And Troy Bitework has done a great job. You saw the potential really starting to unfold at the end of last season, and now they have picked up right where they left off and are really one of the contenders out there. And then you look at Charlevoix, what they're doing with a couple of Brady's, Brady Jess and Brady Warchel, 44-6 win over Oscoda last week. And yeah, they're looking really good. East Jordan too. East Jordan is another team that's 2-0. Corbin Russell, their QB, Braylon Grabowskis, they've got a really good, solid roster. So I think what's been so far during this first 2 weeks is we're starting to see some teams and players develop. There's one player that I need to mention, certainly after his performance on Thursday, and that was Mansalona sophomore Ryan Numchev, who had 6 touchdowns, 5 rushing, 1 passing for the Ironmen, and their first win since August of 2022. So it had been a while since they'd won a game. And he had 320 yards and, yeah, like I said, 6 touchdowns. Those 5 rushings, I'll run them down real quick. 61 yards, 19 yards, 49 yards, another 61-yarder, and then 35 yards. Kid was incredible.
It's what we call video game numbers.
Yeah.
So Anselmo likes to see those pile up, and yeah, a lot of good teams sprouting up early, and some good performances we're seeing, which I know makes a lot of people happy. As we now shift into the school year, where I think crowds are going to be filing into those Friday night stadiums a little more now that the school year's in effect. Hopefully it gets a little colder. It seems still pretty warm outside, so it doesn't feel like fall is here just yet. But yeah, those are a couple good teams to pinpoint. Any non-football related news and notes that have really caught your eye here to start the season?
I think when it comes to volleyball, it's been exactly what I thought it was going to be. We knew Cadillac was kind of going to be the top tier cream of the crop team and then parity was going to kind of play out from there. There's so many talented teams in Northern Michigan that the level of competition was going to kind of even out. So I don't think that the records are necessarily going to reflect just how good Northern Michigan volleyball teams are. And then if I have to I'll go to golf. Harrison, one of a passion of yours and mine, or at least it was for a while there. We were playing quite
It'll
a bit.
come back.
Grace Slocum out of Traverse City, St. Francis she was our record eagle golfer of the year last year, and she is well on her way to doing it again this year. I think she's won almost every meet that she's been in, and that's been against Division 1 through 4 competition. And honestly, I think she would, if it was us versus her, and we even got best ball, I think she'd still beat us.
Doesn't sound like a competition. Yeah, I think we'd need a third or fourth guy or girl on our team. Annika D. I could call Annika D from TC
Okay.
West from like 6 years ago. Maybe Ansi too. All that foursome will take on Grace right now, and I think it's a pretty even playing field.
Yeah, so she's just been a revelation this year. I mean, as a junior, we saw the talent as a freshman and a sophomore, and now she seems like she's really just putting it all together. And I really think that she could end this fall sports season with a state championship in golf and a team state championship in cross country for the Gladiators.
That's right. She was in the hunt for those last year, and what do you know? St. Francis is in the hunt for multiple state titles again this year. Who would have guessed? Can we piggyback back to volleyball real quick before we go into football for this week? The big buzz. Everybody knows Leland's a great program. Roy Glass has the Leland Comets always in contention for state titles. They're ranked number 1 again right now. The crazy part about Leland this year, you probably know, I think they only have 7 players on varsity. They only have 1 substitute that they're running on varsity right now.
Right. Yeah. Every time I get the box scores from Lori Glass, I look at it and I go, this is it. This is the raw, like, not that this is it, but I'm just surprised that the numbers are that low for such a storied program like Leland Volleyball. But I think they have it down to the best of the best. Every single one of those players, Fiona Moore, Kelsey Allen, Sluter, all of them are putting in not only the work on the court during matches, but off the court as well. Super talented Comets team that, yeah, like I said, I said that we probably wouldn't have any football teams make it to the state finals, or I thought we wouldn't, but I see several of our area volleyball teams making it to the Kellogg Arena in Battle Creek.
Fishing for cereal. And yeah, Cadillac made it there last year in the finals in Division 2. St. Francis looks like they're out to a top 10 ranking. And yeah, Leland, last checked, number 1 in the state for Division 4, even with 1 healthy bench player. So once again, impressive stuff from them. And yeah, I can't wait to see how they navigate that going forward. But I have a feeling they're up for the challenge. All right, well, let's shift into this Friday because, Brendan, I don't know if you've ever watched professional wrestling before, but like I love
What is that?
Wrestling.
What's professional
wrestling, which is respected, and the stuff that's running the winners, and they do the finals at 4. They call things triple main events sometimes, and that's what I feel like this week 3 in high school football is. We've got a triple main event here in Northern Michigan that I teed you up for. 3 huge games, but we'll start with the game with the 2-2-0 teams, and that would be Frankfort and Benzie Central. The battle for Benzie County is back. It's been a few years, but these 2 rivals are meeting again. They're in separate divisions, but it's great that these 2 are both off to 2-0 starts, and they get the chance to go at it once again to make that county get pretty excited for Friday Night Football.
Did Benzie win? I thought they lost to Hudson.
Oh, you know what? You're right. You're right. I got excited. You're absolutely right. Good call. Yeah, and live on the Facebook stream too. I get so excited. You were correct. That did happen. Benzie fell short.
That's all right. I was about to put Benji Allen on the Frankfurt Panthers earlier, so it's no big deal, man.
Yeah, we don't want to talk about my butchering of Gaylord football players' names on the Hometown Highlights broadcast. So we're all getting through the preseason twerks, even me right now. So yes, Benzie Central is 1-1. But they looked impressive in week 1 against Elk Rapids, and it is shaping up to be a pretty exciting matchup with them in Frankfurt on Friday night.
Yeah, I think you look at that Frankfurt team, and what they've done through the first 2 weeks is exactly what Manistee has done as well. They built on the success of last year, and not only that, but I think they're building on the heartbreak of last year. They had that early exit from the playoffs after going 8-1 during the regular season, and you've got this, the juniors from last year who are seniors now and don't even want to take a week off to let that possibly happen again. And I think that's what is really driving this Frankfurt team right now. Benzie Central, they just put difficult opponents in front of them week after week after week. That's the way that the Huskies are going to do it. And that's why I think this game is going to be so competitive. It is going to be hard hitting. It's going to be fast. And I'm really looking forward to it. Yes, if we're going to start off the pay-per-view with that match, then let's go for it, because I think those are two. It's Kenny Omega and Konosuke Takeshita. If I'm going to do some AEW,
Wow. I guess
know.
maybe you do watch professional wrestling.
Oh yeah, maybe I do. Maybe I've been to 8 shows in the last year. I don't know.
Wow, the parents and the wrestling, it all comes out on the Facebook live stream.
That's why I'm in the basement, baby.
Well, I apologize to viewers who were watching while I was looking at my phone while Brendan was nice enough to talk and tell us about all these fun facts. I just want to make sure I don't screw up any more team records going forward here. Yes, Benzie Central is 1-1. Let's go to the rivalry up in Charlevoix County. Boyne City is 2-0. Charlevoix is 1-1. These two have had some of the most fun games the last few years, though, and I expect it to be more of the same this Friday night when the Rangers and Ramblers meet again.
Yeah, what was it? Week 7, week 6 that these teams met last year? Both of them
Lately,
were
it's been early. I don't know if it was last year, but I've gone to quite a few recently that have been like week 2.
So
you might be right.
It looks like last year it was week 6. I was just doing my own little research as my
Saint agrees. Your dog's Saint.
One of the dogs barks in the background. So yeah, it was week 6, and they were both undefeated. And I remember going into that game with a great deal of anticipation. And I'm headed into this one the same way, even though it's it's earlier in the season and they're not both undefeated. Boyne City took it to Charlevoix last year, 42-14. It was supposed to be this incredible game that we were all really excited for, and it didn't turn into much of a game, unfortunately. And so I think Charlevoix is going to want to make up for that, and they'll have the chance. And this is going to be another one, 2 heavyweights going after each other and putting it all out onto the field. I know it's only week 3, but I guarantee you the players from last year remember week 6 of last year. And so that's what makes this game more interesting. Do you carry over the momentum from last year into this matchup? Do you have that confidence? Or do you bet on the team that has the chip on the shoulder after losing?
Yeah, I'm going to go on a limb and say, obviously they tell you it this week, but these guys would probably all attest that this is the most important game of the season. Now, maybe later on, one of them is playing Benzie for what will be the division title, but I think to a man, most of them would tell you this game means the most every season, especially this season, especially for Charlevoix wanting to get that win back from a year ago, and Boyne City wanting to show that they're still running things in that division. So a lot of intriguing storylines there up in Charlevoix County. Let's head back down.
Yeah, so that would be like the Brian Danielson versus Ricky Starks strap match, if I had to put it on there.
Yes, I don't think we mentioned the specifics of what happened in that match, but I wasn't there. You were, so
yeah, close enough to
middle of the card, gets the crowd hot. So let's go. What do you want to describe the main event? I just say triple header because any of them could main event, triple main event. In the Big North Conference, because we have a Big North Conference again. No offense to last year, but 4 teams is kind of a funky conference. We have 7 in there this year, and we're getting a great UP, Lower Peninsula, Upper Peninsula rivalry meeting here in week 3. Cadillac at their brand new stadium, upgraded facility, hosting Sault Ste. Marie. The Blue Devils are 2-0. Cadillac's 1-1, but coming off a big win last week. And Cadillac's had some tough opponents these first few weeks
Yes.
here. So they're battle tested. I'm also very intrigued to see what happens between these two. Now, once again, conference rivals meeting up in the Big North Conference.
Cadillac is always a really intriguing team. It seems since like 2017, they've
Mhm.
always been right there. But if you look at the Sioux, they haven't allowed a point this season. Uh, Zeros in the box for week 1 and week 2. Haven't given up a single thing. Cadillac has faced a couple of tough opponents, and first week they couldn't escape with the overtime win, and then last week it was a high-scoring affair. They won 43-36 or 43-37, something along those lines. And so we'll have to see, can Cadillac break through? I would imagine. I don't think that the Sioux is going to hold Cadillac to 0 points. Would I be surprised if they did? Yes. And would it be a statement if the Blue Devils do that? Absolutely. So a lot going into this and a lot on the line, and having it in Cadillac's new field is it's going to be quite the sight. A very pretty game, I would imagine.
Mhm. Yeah, I mean, that field right by the lake, and yep, that turf just adds to it, and great vibe for football down there. I caught the game week 1 against Midland. Fans were excited, so yeah, great environment for them to host. It's just such a great triple header. But of course, we know there's a lot of good games going on across northern Michigan this weekend, so we'll have all your high school football coverage on Hometown Highlights this Friday night on Up North Live News 11. Of course, Brendan and his team will have it covered in the Traverse City Record Eagle as well. So be sure to check out both for recaps of Friday night, because Friday nights are officially here. They were kind of here those first few weeks, but they're officially here now with all the schools being in session, and we shift into fall mode here in the month of September. So exciting things to come. Hey, my friend, I don't know, it would be an insult or encouragement. I'm going to dub you the Hulk Hogan of this segment. You just the greatest of all time. Not my greatest of all time, but you just really brought the energy and the excitement and the vitamins and the prayers and all the good stuff that came with the 24-inch pythons of your analysis for high school football right now. Yep, there they are. In the
Thanks, brother.
All right, Brendan, thanks so much for joining us this week. And yeah, we'll see you at the end of the week when you come back up.
All right, sounds good, man. Have a good one.